Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining me for today's web series on writing job posts that actually get results. My name's Shelby. I'm the engagement specialist here at TempStars. We do these web series once a month on different topics, from using our app to getting offers, how to accept offers, the job board. And today, lo and behold, we will be diving into how to write a job post that attracts the quality candidates, which is what you want, and not just any applications, but the right applications. So the topics that we'll be covering today are why your job post matters, what top candidates are looking for, the anatomy of a job post, common mistakes to avoid, how to write for different roles, how to stand out from other offices. We'll go over a real example, and then some key takeaways at the end. And then after all that, we will navigate to the TempStars platform, and then I can physically show you where the job board is and then what your screens are going to look like. So let's go over why your job posts matter. So your job post is your first impression. Before candidates are ever going to walk into your door of your office, they're reading your post and they're obviously going to make some judgments. So those quality posts are going to attract the quality candidates. The vague posts just get overlooked or applied to in bulk. The well-written posts will fill faster with better applicants. And here's the thing, it's a two-way street, right? So candidates are evaluating you just as much as you're evaluating them. Your post signals your professionalism and your culture in your office. So they're asking themselves, why do I even want to work here? So remember that when you're writing those posts. What top candidates are looking for? So what are they looking for, right? So first, they want to see some clarity and transparency. The role type, the schedule that you need filled, the hours, a compensation range. They want to know what they're signing up for, right? So the second is the practice culture. What kind of office are you? What's your dream dynamic and what makes you special? And then third is the logistics, the location, any type of parking or transit access, the software that you use, benefits that you offer. And then finally, you want to write this in a respectful tone. They want professionalism, and then that values their skills and experience. So let's go over the anatomy of a great job post. So let's break that down and what that means. So you're going to start with the specific title. So experienced dental hygienist, full-time permanent. That's what would be a great heading, not just hygienist needed. An opening hook. What makes your practice unique? Role details like a schedule, hours, responsibilities, information about your practice, the culture, the patient base, what makes you guys different. Requirements, and this one is an important one. So it's separate. You got to separate the must-have things from the nice-to-haves. So it would be great to have somebody that is trilingual and is super quick, has had 15 years of experience. That's a lot. But maybe you really need somebody that's bilingual in French and English, and that's a must have. So you just have to decipher what you must have in your office to work and what would be nice to have. Don't create a unicorn wish list. And what you offer. So compensation, benefits, perks, and then finally, how to write with clear next steps. Let's be specific about the role type and the schedule. So being specific matters, right? So those vague posts like dental professional needed or flexible schedule available, they get fewer applications. And why? It's just because candidates can't tell if it's a fit for them. There's no details there. So the specific posts like full-time permanent hygienist, Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's going to get more applicants because they know right off the bat, yes, that fits my schedule, the time of day, what I want, and it just gets more applications. So the specificity shows that you're organized and it makes it easy for the right candidates to self-select. They know immediately if it's going to work for them and their life. So, describing your practice and culture, you might not have thought about this when writing a job post, but candidates want to know what they're walking into, right? So, include your practice type and patient demographic is really important. Are you a relaxed office or are you more of a high volume practice? What's your team size, the dynamic? What are your values? And here's a couple examples that I jotted down if you're not really sure what I'm talking about. So, a busy family practice with loyal patients from toddlers to grandparents. Team that's been together for 8+ years. We genuinely enjoy coming to work. That sounds great, right? The specifics, the details, it really lays out what your office is like and what they're going to be walking into. Another one, boutique cosmetic practice focused on patient experience. Longer appointments emphasize on quality. We invest heavily in the patient experience and the latest technology. You can see how these two examples, they really paint that picture for the applicant and makes them more confident when they go and apply for your post. So the common mistakes to avoid. So let's talk about what not to do, right? So don't be too demanding. Instead of must be perfect, try we're looking for a dedicated professional. Don't skip compensation information. This is a big one. Just be transparent. Include a range. You can say something like from 45 to 52,000 based on experience or whatever the numbers are. And don't write generic posts. Add some personality. Instead of dental receptionist needed, try join our friendly team as a front desk coordinator. That sounds a lot more inviting. Don't have unclear expectations. Be specific about the full scope right up front. And don't create that unicorn wish list we talked about. Prioritize the must haves over the nice to haves. You'll attract way more qualified candidates that way. So, writing for the different roles. So, on our job board, it's pretty much anybody that has access to the dental community, that has experience in the dental community. So, that can be your hygienists, your dental assistants, obviously, but also front desk receptionists, and then our associate dentists. You can post there as well. So for the hygienist, you're going to want to mention things like permanent versus contract, how many hours per week, the patient volume, the appointment length, whether you provide a hygiene assistant, and then some software that you use would be good. And then for dental assistants, you're going to want to specify it's like a level 1 or a level 2, permanent versus contract, procedure types, whether they have any type of like front desk duties, and then any specialized areas. And then going on to the front desk or receptionist, you're going to want to include that full scope of their role. So, are they answering phones? Scheduling? Is there billing involved? Are you going to be checking insurance? The software systems that your office uses, hours per week, the team support available, things like that. And then lastly, the associate dentists. So you're going to want to mention like days per week, the patient volume, the practice type, like we talked about, the culture, and then procedures, mentorship or partnership opportunities. So future wise, and then compensation model. So all that would be, so you can see how it changes depending on what role you're posting for, what things you need to include. All right, how to stand out. How do you stand out, right? So lead with what makes you all special, your office. So 4 days work week with every Friday off. That sounds awesome, right? Or beautiful new office with state-of-the-art technology. Show that you value your team. So we believe in a work-life balance. Our team is like a well-oiled machine. Offer compelling benefits. So, any type of extended health and dental, retirement savings plan matching, continuing education allowance is a big one, paid conference days, paid vacations, sick days, anything like that. You're going to want to list. And be human. Let your personality shine through. Don't sound just like a legal document contract. All right, let's go over this real example here. Okay, so I'll read through it. So, front desk coordinator, full time permanent. Cool. We're a friendly family practice in Burnaby looking for a front desk coordinator. About us. We're 15+ years serving our community, team that genuinely enjoys working together. We value kindness and professionalism. The role, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. It gives the roles here. Um, Scheduling, patient communication, insurance, billing, Dentrix, you state what software. Training's provided, which is great. So they have more confidence, like, I don't know Dentrix, but you're going to provide the training. That's perfect. Looking for, so this is what they need to have 2+ years dental reception experience, strong communication skills, team player, Dentrix preferred but not required. Awesome. What we're offering, so you give a range of the experience of your compensation based on experience. Perfect. The benefits start after 3 months, 3 weeks paid vacation, and free parking. Great. So notice how that there's a specific title. It opens with a hook about the practice. It gives specific role details, describes the culture of your office, lists realistic requirements, and it includes that compensation and benefits that we talked about. It's welcoming, specific, gives candidates a real sense of what working there would be like. And it's short, it's not too long. It's something you can rattle off real quick, but it gets to the point. That's what we want to see. Okay, let's do a walkthrough of our app so you know where to go and what it looks like on your end. So right when you log into our app, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the calendar. You're going to use the calendar for temping shifts. So if you need somebody to fill one day next week or a couple days next week, you just need some fill-in help, you would use our calendar. We're not talking about that today, but if that's something that you're interested in, we do have a bunch of videos for that on our YouTube channel you can check out. For now, we're going to go navigate to the job board. So you're going to do that by hitting this button that says Hire Staff. And then here you'll see all your posts that you've had if you've posted before. So here we have one. I'm not going to click into that yet. We'll look at it later. But I want to show you what it looks like when you're posting an ad. So you're going to click Post a New Job Board, and it's going to come to a form pretty much that you need to fill out. So you're going to first click on the role. So all the ones that we talked about, the dental hygienist, DA, admin, front desk, associate dentist. So you just pick whichever one you want. Select the employment type. So permanent, maternity leave, contract, those are the ones we have. We'll select maternity leave. If you have multiple offices, you can go through and select which one. Otherwise, you just pick the only one that you have. And then here you would select what days of the week that you're hiring for. So let's do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Here's the experience. So you can always select new grads welcome. That's a great one. We always encourage that. But then you can, whichever you're looking for. So if you want at least 2 years experience, you can select that. And then start date. This can be approximate. We'll select this one. And again, start date's approximate. And then you would add your email. It's already there for you. And then the next list here is going to be your job ad, your post. So you would just add your title, your description. The nice thing here is we do have some AI technology at the bottom. Once you ramble on a bunch of things here about like what you need, days of the week, compensation, benefits, your office culture, everything we talked about, click continue. And we have like an AI bot. It's going to go through what you typed out and make sure it takes care of any spelling or grammatical errors. And it'll also suggest some improvements to the post. And you are given a suggestion of one or the other that you can post. So you can check that out before you post it. But that's something nice that we do as well. So anyway, that's how you would post your job board. I did want to go back in there. Hold on. We'll go back in and look at this post that we have just so that you can see an example. So this is what it's going to look like after you have it posted. So you can see it's for a dental reception or a dental assistant. It's for a permanent role. The start date here, the days of the week, minimum experience is 0. So the new grads are welcome. And then the title, it gives you a little snippet about it. And then just your job board ad that you posted. So that's what it's going to look like. And then you'll be able to see it on your screen there. You can always repost it, remove it, edit it, anything like that. But that's where it's going to be located and what the screens are going to look like. All right, let's go over these key takeaways. All right, so Write job posts that attract those quality professionals by being specific. Remember the role type, the hours, the schedule, responsibilities, all very important. You're going to show your culture and what makes your office and your practice unique. Include those key details like the compensation is a big one, the benefits, the logistics of your office, like the software, and avoid mistakes like demanding tone, that vagueness, the vague details, and of course, that unicorn wish list that we talked about, just being unrealistic. And then standing out by leading with what makes you a great place to work. And be human, again, write like you're talking to a future colleague. Okay. Remember, your job post is marketing. You're selling your practice on top you're selling your practice to top candidates just as much as you're selling themselves to you. So you want to make them want to work for you. That's the key. So thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. I know we covered a lot of juicy details and information here. You can always replay this. We're sending it out so you can bookmark it. And when you're writing those job ads, you can always reference this web series. If you have questions and just you posted something and you're not getting any responses, you can always book some time with me and we can go over your job post together one-on-one. You would just scan this QR code I have on the screen here and book some time with me. We can do some screen sharing just like this, or we can just hop on the phone and have a quick chat. And then for all the other questions throughout your role here at TempStars, you can reach out to customer support at help@tempstars.com. Email address is on your screen. And then our agents will help you with whatever they can, all your questions. And please stay tuned if you like this series. We roll out a video once a month at the end of the month, and topics are always different. And then if you have suggestions, you can always send them into a customer support. Again, I appreciate you all. And if you have questions, let us know. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.